good evening, good morning, good night, you lovelies. It is the one, the only Cappy D Barra, and we are not here to talk about sports. We are not even here to talk about the news. All right, we are here to talk about one of the simplest aspects, all right, of the bourgeois lifestyle, the good old electronic television. Okay, TV has been around for centuries. All right, it feels like at this point we're edging on a century. Okay, and we have got to understand its critical function in society. All right, it is to act as three things. All right, a tool of escapism. All right, a tool of fantasy or creativity, and a tool of information. Now, sometimes, more times than not, those things will be bundled in together. Prime example, Fox News, Alex Jones, people who extend the fantasy into a quote-unquote news broadcast so you feel like you're doing something useful, all right, with your screen watching. But in reality, the consumption of screens, all right, across the globe for humanity, it's very, very high. Everyone's looking at their phones, everyone's looking at something. Some people even have two screens in front of them multiple hours of the day. That would be your boy. Personally, even to do this video, all right, I have to have 3 pieces of technology going at all pieces in time. All right, that's not normal. Okay, what I'm saying is our reliance on television and the media that we have consumed it through, it has made us very reliant and very dependent on some of these stories to not only at least exist on a simple paper pen factor, but they have to perform. And that's where a lot of trouble comes in with these shows, all right? Stranger Things 5 is a show. Stranger Things Season 5 is a continuation, obviously, of the famous Stranger Things series, something that's been going on since 2015. Let's time out here for a second, okay? 10 years for 5 seasons. That should be fucking illegal, all right? I believe it's illegal, all right, for companies in this country to be allowed to pay people under the living wage, all right? You should not be allowed to pay people knowing that they're under the fucking poverty line with your payment. That it seems evil on paper. Why is a company allowed to distribute and market along with they're allowed to collect revenue, market, and completely hide off all simultaneously this large, massive piece of IP that is Stranger Things, okay? And we could talk about the nostalgia hype, right? But we can't even really talk about the nostalgia hype because I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I just did the head math. MJ got drafted, this year, according to the season? Who fucking cares? Honestly, what is 80s nostalgia? What is 90s nostalgia without any MJ? Okay? And also, I don't want to see this show come back for a It Chapter 2. We're going to be getting to Welcome to Derry later in this video. All right? There's just nothing in this fucking show that I think does it. Listen, the acting, it's not good, guys. It's not good. Every single extra on this show, including the Wheelers, by the way, they feel like they're tacked on to this fucking decade-old project. It's quite literally like when Emily Olsen was running around saying that she's fucking done with the MCU and they hadn't even penned a script for Secret Wars yet. That's what the fuck this shit feels like. It feels like everyone is so over this shit, and rightfully so, brother. Rightfully so. I'm over it, okay? Listen, what we know about the Upside Down, all right, is that it is a connection from the world above to the world below, and apparently there's this thing called Dimension X. Listen, I don't know what the fuck is going on here. There's an entire play that was damn near never released to the public. Only 10% of the entire earth knows about the play, and now anybody with a fucking book and a pair of fucking cheaters is gonna sit here and tell you need to read the script word for word, syllable for syllable, and you need to figure out what the fuck Dimension X is. Why haven't the Duffer Brothers just explained this? Why can't we get there's 3 universes? There's X, Y, and Z. Well, fuck it. Make it so it's a multiverse thing. So now it's in the tapestry of the multiverse. There's 1,000 multiverses. There's 1,000 dimensions. We can't talk about all of them. That would be silly. That's a reasonable response. Other than just, we've been working with Netflix for a really long time to put out a great season. We really love Dustin, the whole cast. They've matured into such great actors. Nigga, who are the gods of this fucking universe? Are there gods here? What is happening? There's monsters and there's cretins, but all we've seen is fucking demo dogs in the Mind Flayer. And now I'm supposed to believe, due to the origin and the lore of the play, Henry was a nigga from the 1950s who was kidnapped by Brenner, and upon his escape, he fell into a cave, and this cave hell dimension X, like, oh, whatever the fuck that is, because that doesn't have an explanation, right? It's just another thing. It's just another whatever, right? Another MacGuffin. I don't even want to call it MacGuffin because that feels like a MacGuffin, but it just feels like a thing that we have to get to or go through for the story to progress. And it's like, what the fuck is it? What is it? There was no explanation here with anything. Like, there are so many aspects of this lore, according, like, having to do with the Upside Down that we have not gotten. And I'm not gonna lie, bro, we're really late in the fucking game. We're really late in the game, okay? Even the, like, release cycle of this, they released this shit at 8 p.m. People have jobs, okay? Most of people in a good portion of people in America are living check to check, under or right on the fucking poverty line. Some people with 2 jobs. Why the fuck are you releasing this in the fucking middle of the evening? Like, what kind of fucking backward shit is that? Drop this shit at 12 or fucking 2 a.m. All right, and then people could just wake up to it. I feel like that's such a more reasonable thing to do, right? Oh man, who even knows? Listen, they're sitting here, they're cutting this season, this segment. We can only talk about volume 1 because that's what we're doing now. That's how fucking pretentious TV is now. We have to wait fucking 3 entire fucking years for one season to come out. Listen, all of this seems like a really big fucking sleight of hand, okay? No D&D, and I'm just not cool with it. I'm not cool with it. I mean, even to touch on that, the D&D aspects, yes, this is 1985, so you did not have all the big fantastical things that we have with the D&D now, but there are some aspects of this show that just are not D&D anymore, and they try to build that back in with like a season 5, but listen, the ship sailed, bro. The ship sailed. I don't give a fuck about Holly and this whole cleric thing. Why Holly? Like, I genuinely do appreciate the directors doing that for like at least like the first hour of one of these episodes. Like, why the fuck Holly? Like, out of everyone, it doesn't make any sense. And it's like, apparently people are saying, oh, because Holly looks like Vecna's sister. Boo. Boo. Take this shit off my screen, bro. Take this shit off my fucking screen. I mean, I don't even know if there is enough time in my life fucking span to sit here and explain to everybody the happenings of Stranger Things. All right, let's try to just fast forward this. Let's try to fast forward through this, okay? Season 1, a bunch of kids find a telekinesis kid. All right, we learn that telekinesis kid somehow, some way, for some rhyme or reason, in some logistics of this universe, created a dimension by sending somebody there. What the fuck ever. So this telekinetic girl, they are then found, and you know, they have a connection to a missing boy. The missing boy is not missing, he is just kind of not there, because he's in the dimension that the girl created the exact same day that the boy got kidnapped. Or is this making sense to anybody? It's not. I didn't think it would. So we also learned that the person that the telekinetic girl sent back in time, little broed the thing that traumatized him to become his puppet. Yes. The Mind Flayer was using Henry as a puppet. That made Brenner adopt or kind of corrupt Henry. Henry then blacked on 11. Telekinetic girl, you're keeping up, you're doing a great job. So all of the series progresses. You know, Will gets found, they travel into the Upside Down. There's a whole thing with like oxygen levels that doesn't fucking matter anymore. There's an entire thing with fire and fire killing anything that comes around the Upside Down. Nobody cares about that. Bullets. Just use a normal 308, you'll be perfectly fine. Fucking geniuses the writers are, I tell you. Yeah, so it's a bunch of shit. We fast forward eventually to there being 2 main villains. Demogorgon, who is the main baddie for a bit of season 2, main season 1, Mind Flayer, really the latter half of season 2 and the latter half of season 3. Really spooky shit. But then Vecna, right? He kind of comes into play, and you learn that Vecna's control of all these creatures and all these beings. The only issue with that is Vecna is hilariously fucking incompetent. We are led to believe that Vecna, from quite literally season 1, has had an entire hand up, an entire leg ahead of the fucking field, right? Because he's been able to see through Will, and it wasn't alluded to at all. Like, there was a segment when the Mind Flayer took over Will where it's like, oh, he's become possessed, but it's like The fucking Exorcist. I mean, like what? Like, okay, the Exorcist reference. Like, who's surprised? Who's shocked here? It's 2019. Let's all get a fucking grip, okay? But what we're not going to sit here and just flat out ignore from season 2 is the abilities that were transferred over to Will. It does seem like something was kind of given to Will via this transference of him being in the Upside Down, and but even then, it really does bleed into like Pennywise territory, because is Vecna bringing people's material bodies into a astral plane, and that allows them to get affected? Because that's how Will was affected. Or is that only able to be done because Will was infected with the slugs? There's so many moving pieces to these stories. The most important part to get here is that Will has some kind of powers, right? And it mirrors 11 and her sister and all the other telekinetic kids and Henry and blase. The big thing that we have to talk about here is the abilities of, all right, and the limits of these powers. Realistically, we are going to see Jonathan eat the bucket. It's just gonna happen. It's just gonna happen. I hate to tell all you that. You know what else is gonna happen realistically? Dustin's out of here. Dustin's probably out of here. Listen, Lucas has been tired of this fucking show since like season 3. He's been walking around just irritated that we're still doing this, okay? He's been trying to get girls to join the basketball team quite literally since season 3. So, you know what? The fact that everyone's just kind of emotionally over it, and that's kind of the reason for half of the delivery in this season kind of being just like, man, I really want to get the fuck out of here. Man, I really want to be in the next Disney movie. Like, that's literally the energy on this fucking set. So, I mean, it's whatever. It's fine. I mean, the script itself is dog shit. It's awful. Oh, it's so every single military person's line sounds like the most repetitive fucking alien predator fucking like, oh, we gotta make sure we execute the mission and do it now. Quick, give me a hot pot of coffee tomorrow, Jenkins. It's like, shut up. Oh, you sound like fucking nerds. Everyone here sounds like a fucking dork, okay? Honestly, the biggest highlight of this season is Hopper. I'm being very serious. I mean, Hopper, and I'll even give some credit, I hated the Thunderbolts. But I mean, if I had to sit here and put it on a Richter scale, I think Mr. Hopper, all right, is probably the best part of the Thunderbolts, and it obviously seems that he brought the beard, all right, and the Red Guardian energy over from the Thunderbolts to this season somehow, some way. Not too pissy about that. I really didn't like this. I really didn't like this volume though. Again, us not getting any lore or like mythology on this place, it just feels so lackluster. There's a massive wall of meat, and at first I'm like, oh, this is like some Stephen King shit. This is like an eldritch god. It's something sent from the cosmos. No, it's just a border. It's just a board, and now the story is low-key being told. Like, low-key, guys, this is the soft story. Like, this is the easiest definition of the story. There are aliens coming from across the border stealing children. I shit you not, that is the plot here. And you know what, if that's what you're into, cool. It's not moving me though. I'm not interested. Understanding the gods and the topography of the Upside Down, understanding what even is Dimension X, because that has not been mentioned in the entirety of this show. Not the play that, again, 5% of the fucking population watched the show. All right, listen, a lot of missing pieces here, a lot of missing opportunity. I mean, like, all the actors are just bad, man. Like Derek, everyone keeps like, oh, good job, Derek. Derek was fucking annoying. Maybe that means he was doing a good job then, I guess. But oh man, I despise that kid. Like, why? Okay, just like small coincidence, right? Small little coincidence. If there is like a hypothetical police report for Holly, right? Or even news there's wind in the news, right? That the Wheeler household was attacked. Okay, so where's Holly? Holly's missing. Okay. All right, and these people are telling you that there's monsters. Well, I'm a child, but I do know that my classmate was missing today, and I also know that my classmates' parents were in the news for being maimed. Maybe the idea of a monster being around isn't so crazy. But you know what? Again, half of this shit is just the plot. And I mean, like there are instances where Mrs. Byers, Joyce, doesn't get attacked because of Will's kind of like innate secret telepathy, synchronization with the hive mind. There's also that people want to talk about. Oh, like, I feel so bad for Will, when the Demogorgons get set on fire. Let's address something really quick. Vecna has to fucking go, okay? I don't give a fuck how it's done. I don't give a fuck who does it. And if that means Will has to go in the process, so be it, my nigga. So be it. I ain't gonna shed no tears. I ain't listen, Vecna gotta go. Okay, that's top and bottom. Okay, everything else is just filler. Everything else is just that's patter. That's all right. That's just fucking score padding right there. All right. Listen. I'm not gonna lie. Everything going forward with Willow right now, with William, as Vecna would so eloquently put it, it's trash. It's cheesy. There's a whole like 12 clocks and 12 children. They're like abducting a bunch of kids. Also, holy fucking hell, bro. They enact a plan in the third movie, right? They enact a plan in the third episode, right? And it goes fairly well. It's kind of reminiscent of some of their other plans. They've been doing these crawls to find Vecna, kind of reminiscent of dungeon crawls, right? And that's something I could respect. But boy, when I tell you, do these motherfuckers not fucking care for safety plans? Okay, so let's just start this off chronologically, right? They are pissed off at Dustin because he keeps wearing a shirt to memorialize Eddie. Eddie, who canonically saved the group, saving Hawkins. If the group fails, Hawkins dies. That's canonical, even though Hawkins kind of already did fucking die, whatever that fucking season 4 finale was that people refuse to talk about. We're going to acknowledge it briefly. So after this, right, they decide, all right, so we're gonna listen to this voice message left by Robin. Robin is like, okay, listen, I'm not gonna lie, I already spoke on my piece about mythology and gods not being anywhere in this fucking story, even though it's kind of necessary to give us a good power ranking or a good understanding of what the fuck this story is. I'm just not interested in the whole, hey, I'm gay too, bro, it's cool being gay. Listen, love Robin and Def, Will, the actor has some real ugly ideas on geopolitics. We're not going to talk about that, but I mean, just ball game being ball game. I don't fucking care about people being gay and the world's ending. I don't care. So I mean, like, other than that, she's perfectly fine in this series, but yo, I'm telling you right now, like, Dustin like holding most of the bag for this fucking season, it's insane. It's insane to me. He is memorializing Eddie with this shirt, right? Eddie, who saved the town. He did it. He saved the fucking town. And we also know from season 4 that he has known Mike, Lucas, and Will since they were fucking freshmen. And now they're just so cool being like, yo, you shut the fuck up about Eddie, bro. Yo, why the fuck do you keep talking about Eddie, bro? You're bringing trouble to everybody. Brother, do you guys forget why you started playing D&D? Canonically, because Eddie seen a bunch of fucking ragtag misfits who weren't being accepted, and you pulled you into this fucking group, and you started your own campaign. You became the own head of your group, all right? Who's to say that if Mike doesn't even get into D&D, he never meets Eddie, that this entire series never happens? Who's to say that if that night with Mike playing D&D with Will, Lucas, and Dustin, if that doesn't happen due to the introduction of Eddie, that 11 never gets saved and this series goes nowhere? All I'm saying is when you do the fucking timeline on it, Eddie matters. He matters so fucking much, man. And I just think the erasure of him, it's sick, all right? It just shows everyone's fucking media literacy, and I'm just not happy with it, man. I'm not happy with it. And I don't want to fucking I don't want to be a pot calling kettle black, right? Because I do think maybe there are a lot of pieces to this series. Maybe I'm just missing in the moment, right? Maybe I'm missing the trees for the forest for the trees, right? But what I can say definitively is that the acting in this show has not improved. All right, listen. Some of the younger actors like Holly and Erica, they're doing their best. They're doing their damnedest. But it's like, you can tell that they were told, hey, we don't know when you're going back to Stranger Things for that like 16-month recording process. Just don't give us a call back and just figure that shit out. You'll be fine. You're on Stranger Things. And they have just been wasting away in the fucking, like in the reserves, bro. You can tell. Some of these actors, they're not good. Every time Holly and every single time fucking, not Erica, but the other young person on this fucking show, it's Holly and Derek. I believe it's Derek. I cannot stand Derek's line deliveries, and it's whatever. He's a kid. Kid actors obviously always get better, but I don't know. And maybe that means he's doing his job, but it's like, gosh, it's a hard sit through, guys. It's a hard sit through. And then that's not even touching the fucking boiling pot that is right next to it with Welcome to Derry, because Welcome to Derry is almost damn near just as bad. And I want to be honest, okay? I have consumed both of the It movies in their entirety, with all due respect to me, your boy, okay? And I've seen at least one episode of Welcome to Derry. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, it's not my steez. not my steez. Listen, I think some of the shit with The Shine is cool. The Shining, all of the lore from Stephen King, you know, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it really is just my affinity for old 50s music and the kind of creepy nostalgia feel that whole kind of era has. Not gonna hate on it, right? Because hey, a Mr. Sandman goes off every now and again in some of these shows. A Maybe, right, by the Ink Spots. These are things I'm never gonna turn my head away from. Are you Ella Fitzgerald? Are you fucking crazy? Are you out of your mind? Do I look like an uncultured swine? But these stories, brother, these stories. So apparently there are multiple kids. I guess let's start from the beginning. It is a multi-dimensional creature that was kind of spawned in the ether from the chaos, kind of just after, you know, the natural creation of the universe, the stars, gods, and monsters, right? It was there. He was present, he was sentient, and he was existing. And the sea turtle Thurin, and like in the massive kind of god celestial turtle known as Mathurin, which, you know, heavily inspires from Native American mythology, essentially casted him out of space in the cosmos, leading him to kind of get banished onto Earth. You know, this rock. Realistically, from what we get from the movies and a little bit of the novel, we can understand that his first place of his first landing site. The first crash site for it was a Native American tribe in Derry, I think it's like Derry, Pennsylvania or something like that. And obviously, you know, this landscape was changed over the course of colonialism, right? Which I think is a really nice, interesting piece to tell, with the story of Derry. It's a tale as old as time, white men taking what's not theirs. But the stones in the carvings used from the kind of ship or the wreckage of this creature, it was scattered across the entirety of Derry. So, they don't really show up in chapter 1 and 2. They don't really show up too much in the original 1980s, right? It's just there, and it's a little piece of lore that they're incorporating now. And I'm not gonna lie, man, some of the things that they're doing is just like, it's fucking insane. So there's a guy named Daniel. He is given one of these shards and he runs off. And I swear, I don't know if anyone else does this. When you have like a really valuable item and you just throw it into a loose part of your bag that can easily be like, disjunted or thrown out of your bag from a couple of sprints. When everyone has like, an airless fucking time loom that they would probably rather give a fucking arm than to lose due to the severity and the importance of this fucking heirloom for humanity, mind you. You know how you just throw it into a bag with no satchel or no kind of latch or belt or anything, and you just let shit happen? That's a common thing for everybody, right? Oh, it's not. Oh, that's fucking interesting. Oh, or how about when your friend that was gobbled up about 3 to 4 or 5 days ago, he shows up out of nowhere, gray as a fucking can of paint, and he tells you, hey, we can go back down there to the spooky ghost lair, but we can't bring any cops or adults or I'm fucking bailing, and fuck all you guys. First off, brother, fuck off and bailing where? Because you aren't going to your father, because your father isn't fucking gonna like you, because you're not even here. So, like, there's so many instances to this fucking episode where I'm just like, why is Maddie being treated as the world's first fucking missing person? Like, bring him into a police station. Who gives a fuck what he says? Who cares? You guys think that the police won't be able to extract at least half of more information than you can? And time out. The military is actively making a presence through them trying to recruit it. Insane fucking storyline, by the way. So why aren't you just going to the military and going like, hey, we have a kid who can lead you guys to it? I swear, 2 seconds of communication. 2 seconds of communication. It's the exact same issue that I have with Stranger Things. It's like they make up this idea that everything has to be in the past because they know with some of these storylines, if it was a cell phone involved, half this shit goes away. If there's a single cell phone in Stranger Things, the seasons are half as long. Same thing with this fucking show. A cell phone. Hey, Dad, fuck it, let's use a home phone if you want to be time appropriate, right? You dial up the old router. Hey, what's going on, Pop? There's a kid over here who says he's seen the big scary thing you guys are looking for. You think you can talk to him real quick? And maybe he could be the arbiter of, hey, y'all are getting tricked. What the fuck y'all got me talking to? Or let's go down there. I'll help y'all search. Maybe that's where you build off from this. Not just, yo, we going down there, no cops, who's with me? Us all fucking 5 to 13 fucking 12-year-olds. What? Shit's stupid, man. Oh god. And listen, when the Loser Club did it, I like to believe that they were doing that in justification for Willie. In justification for Georgie, right? And it's like, yeah, some of the kids died, but bro, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It's like we're watching chapter 1 all over again. And it's like, I know what's going to happen because these kids can't win because the Loser Club kills, canonically, I believe they kind of kill it canonically, the Deadlights leave in chapter 2. So now what? Are we just gonna see all these fucking kids get chomped up like fucking Slim Jims? Like, I don't see that shit. You know what I mean? Listen, all I know is that Welcome to Derry is not impressing me. Stranger Things is not impressing me. The only thing I can look forward to when it comes to good horror nowadays is fucking Black Gold. All right, I gotta look towards fucking Jordan Peele to fucking shit something out of his ass, half competent enough as him. Him wasn't an amazing movie. It wasn't an amazing movie, but I'm not gonna lie. Lined up against Stranger Things, I'll watch him in a heartbeat. I'll fucking watch him. Him had aspects of actual genuine fear. All right, when Marlon Wayans punted that fucking psycho woman's skull through the wood, I was like, what the fuck am I watching? What the fuck am I watching? There were aspects of body horror, psychological torment. Like, there are actual aspects of him that I could sit through and somewhat appreciate, even if I don't love the film. Sinners isn't an amazing film, but fuck is it a hell of a lot better than Stranger Things, brother. Fuck is it hell of a lot better. Listen, man, if anybody was wholeheartedly impressed from what they got with this volume from Stranger Things, that's awesome. You know, if anyone's looking forward to the season finale or maybe even the series finale of Welcome to Derry, be my guest, you know. And I will say that they are going to be touching on some things I think is cool. You know, the Welcome to Derry theme song's cool. Stranger theme song is ass. It's doo-doo. But you know, I can say that the aesthetics still fit for both shows, and I can say that they're entertaining their audiences at least I could say that. What I can say definitively though is that we are getting some very interesting pieces of horror, of a horror kind of era right now. So I mean, if any of you guys are going to be interested in this moving forward, you know, I will continue to do reviews for this, but I mean, that's all I got for these shows. Your boy wasn't impressed. Your boy was left a little unsatisfied, but it is what it is. It happens to the best of us, right? I do have some more videos coming up later today, so hope all of you stay tuned for that. And as I always say, stay safe and stay beautiful. All right, peace.